Okay, sorry about that. So it looks like I got cut off right about here. So when I did 3 parts blue divided by 7 parts total, that gave me 0.428 of the total is blue. 0.428 parts of total. So that means when I compare these two, 0.4 and 0.428, which one's bigger? 0.428. So that means that mixture B was the most blue. So I found the part out of the whole and then found out the decimal equivalent of that whole mixture that was blue. All right, question number 6. The train ride at the zoo covers a distance of 3.5 miles in a third of an hour. So how many miles per hour does the train go? So I could do this as a proportion, and I know I've got miles and I've got hours. So I've got 3.5 miles in 1/3 of an hour. And then over here, I want to know how many miles the train goes in 1 hour. So I could do this one of two ways. First, I could do a proportion. So multiply the partners. 3.5 times 1 gives me 3.5. And then 3.5 divided by 1/3. So you could use your calculator to do this. 3 and 1. Oop, sorry guys. 3. Nope. I gotta think about this for a second. 3 and 1. No, gosh. Sorry guys, I keep messing this up. I'm forgetting how to do this. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna say 3.5 instead of 3.5. If you get stuck with that too, that's a really easy fix for you. 3.5 divided by 1/3 gives me 10.5. The other way that I could have done that is I could have done, I know how to divide fractions, so I know I need this guy to be a fraction. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7/2. And then I know if I want to divide with a fraction, I leave this number the same, I change this to multiplication, and then I flip this guy. So 7 times 3 is 21. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 goes into 21 10 times with a half left over. The other thing that I could have done is if this train goes 3.5 miles in 1/3 of an hour, I know that it would take me 3 1/3 to equal 1 hour, right? Because if I'm taking this hour and I'm dividing it into thirds, that means I need 3 of these guys, 1, 2, 3, to equal 1 hour. So I could do 3.5 for 1/3 plus another 3.5 for this third, and then another 3.5. So I've got 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So I have a whole hour there. So if I add those up, 9 and 3/2, or I could do 9, 3, 6, 9, 10.5. So one way I just figured out how many parts it would take to make the whole and then added each one for each part. And the other way I just used a proportion. How far can the train travel in 3 hours? Well, this is kind of like what I just did here. So if it can travel 10.5 in 1 hour, how far can it travel in 3? I could do 10.5 times 3, which gives me 31.5, or I could solve a proportion, either way. So 10.5, so I'm going to do miles over hours again. 10.5 in 1 hour, how far in 3 hours, right? Either way, I could do the same thing. Okay, so now problem number 7, we have a unit rate problem. So we want to figure out how much each thing costs, figure out which is the better buy, and then explain why we chose it. So we know for price, we're going to divide it like we say it. So over here, we're going to do $2.95 divided by 6. 295 divided by 6 gives me 0.4916, which I know is somewhere between 49 and 50 cents. Now over here, I've got $12.49 for a 24 pack. So $12.49 divided by 24 gives me 52 cents. So we're going to choose Mr. Pibb from Jewel. Jewel is cheaper per can. If you did your unit rate the other way, so we did price per can. If you did cans per dollar, then what you did was can per dollar, which gave you 2.033. And then over here, 24 divided by 12.49, which gave you 1.92. So again, we would choose Jewel because you get more cans per dollar. You know, we talk about this a lot where I just realized you can't even see what I was writing. Sorry about that, guys. There you go. So again, price per can. That was probably really frustrating for you because you couldn't yell at me in person. Price per can. So Jewel is cheaper. And then down here, cans per dollar. So when we're talking about cans per dollar, we want more cans per dollar. But we've talked a lot about the fact that when we're doing things having to do with money and unit rates, we always want to know the price per item. So there's your study guide. Good luck. Feel free to rewind and rewatch any part that you were interested in. You may pause it now and be done, or if you are concerned with figuring out how to do a mixed number in our calculator, you can muddle along with it with me. I kind of can't believe that I don't remember how to do it because I used to know. So I'm going to just kind of keep playing with this for a couple minutes. Okay, so I remember how to do it. So if you want to put in just a fraction, you put in a number and then your B over C. But if you need to do a mixed number, the first number is a whole unit. So we're going to do like if I wanted to do 3.5, I put in my 3 as my whole number. Then I hit unit. And that means the next two things that I put in can go in as a fraction. So again, I put in my whole number and then unit tells it that it's a whole number. And that then puts the next items that I put in fraction form. I can't even believe that I couldn't remember how to do that. Anyway, good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor.